I'm not at the point where I go to the lake naked yet. Let's see how long it's gonna take for me to get there. But I'm not.
Keep tuned. This is why you have to follow her, because you have to see a transition.
Never see it. Hello, my friends. Welcome back to another video. I have my beautiful friend Alba again with me because I just can't get enough of her. Like, just dragging her to make. I'm dragging her to make videos with me. And from the last video, we talked about living in Indonesia versus living in Germany. And I dragged her here again today so that we'll make a video about culture shock moving from Indonesia to Germany. Now, you guys know, as usual, I have to do this. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. It's free. And give this video a thumbs up if you like it. And you can follow me on Instagram if you want. It's at Waleo Chronicles. And you can follow Alba's diving school. This time, let's leave your diving school.
So it's at dive_N_Berlin. So.
Okay. So if you watched the last video, you know that she's a diving instructor. And do you want to also leave your personal...
Sure. You can also follow me to @crowder.alba.
Please, no creeps in the DM. Thank you very much for obliging. Now let's get into the main topic of this video. As you can see, we look tropical because we're representing Jakarta, Indonesia. No shade for the Germans. Sorry. The next culture shock we're going to talk about is mingling in social gatherings and the non-existence of small talk, or the awkwardness of small talk here in Germany.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So should I go first?
Yeah, go first. Yeah.
So. One of the big culture shocks for me was how awkward small talk can be here, because the culture of small talk is not a thing here in Germany. People just want to go straight to the point. But if you're in a social setting and you do not know people, you're not going to suddenly start asking them like, oh, what's the meaning of life? Like, you're not going to start with the deep stuff. You're going to like ease into it. So for me, small talk is an art. It doesn't have to be like silly and frivolous or anything, but it's an art of getting everybody comfortable into the conversation before getting into the big things.
The thing is, like, I'm such in a limbo area, because like for me, I really hated that in Indonesia, like everything, like you already knew what people would ask you. Like there was a point where I joked about it a lot, but I was this close to do it, that I would print a little paper with all the same questions they do, which is like, where are you from? What do you do? Sometimes even, what's your salary? Why are you in Indonesia?
We have to talk about that. And
for me, I was like, okay, it's gonna come a point where I will print this, and every person that approaches is like, here, read it first, and if it interests you, we can continue talking. If not, next.
Here's my CV.
Here's my CV. Honestly, it felt like that. So like for me, especially in like social gatherings, like with locals or expats, it was the same approach. So for me, for me that was small talk, and for me was like, okay, I hate small talk.
So the next area we're going to talk about is one of the culture shocks for me. I will go first in this one. Is how I observed that here there is more emphasis on simplicity in terms of wealth. So in Indonesia, for instance, in Jakarta, because we lived in Jakarta, there is more. If someone is wealthy, you will know from the way they look, from the car they drive, from just the way they carry themselves. They carry the expensive stuff. It's just a thing. It's a normal thing in Indonesia. Whereas here in Germany, people are so simple. You necessarily cannot tell if someone is wealthy just by looking at them. Everybody's just chilled, easygoing. Simplicity is more a thing here in Germany. And it was a culture shock for me, because also in my country, in Nigeria, when someone is rich, you will know. Like, Nigerians are extra and loud AF. So like you can tell when somebody's rich and affluent, and it's encouraged to actually display your wealth, unfortunately, in Nigeria. But I like the fact here in Germany, this is one of the things I like, that simplicity is such a big thing. Everybody's just like laid back.
I do think in Indonesia was a little bit heavy. I remember I actually met people that they would, and for me that's crazy, because they would buy, let's say, a Louis Vuitton bag, and they would ask for credits to their bank to pay for that. And it's like you're attached to pay for, like, I don't know, let's say 2-3 years for a bag. It's
no,
like, yes,
you're joking.
No, I'm not.
What?
It's very, very common.
It's ridiculous.
For me, it's ridiculous. Like, I cannot afford a Louis Vuitton bag, but why would I then ask for a credit I would ask credit for a house.
Exactly.
But like, no,
it's not an asset.
Yeah,
Come
so
on.
exactly. So for me, this is way relieving here. Like I still like to like dress nice or like how I feel comfortable, and I don't care whatever they do, but for me it's a little bit more relaxed in a way that like I don't see it so often. Like I don't get so much of a visual contamination for me. Like again, you can do whatever you want, you can do anything. Like yes, ask for a credit to get 2 purses, good for you. But for me it's like, yeah, I don't care, like honestly. So it was a very big shock from Venezuela going to Indonesia, and then Indonesia to Germany, because it was like down, up, and down again.
Yeah,
so
I know that
like,
feeling.
Wow.
Yeah. So the next culture shock we're gonna talk about is food. You guys know if I'm talking about this type of video, food must come up one way or the other. So I will say for me, one of the culture shocks I noticed is coming from Nigeria and coming from Indonesia as well, that my idea of a salad is like green stuff, so any type of vegetables, generally in the vegetable family. But then coming here to Germany, salad is not necessarily only vegetables. So they have like Wurst salad made from sausages. In my head, that's actually not a salad. A salad is supposed to be healthy and green and full of vitamins, and and they have Wurst salad, they have potato salad, and anything can be a salad really. Do you know any other types of German salads?
There's even a noodle salad. They even have noodle salads.
Yeah,
here.
that's true. I just remember. It's not a salad, guys.
That's pasta. That's simply pasta.
Yeah, that's pasta. Like, for me, I
pasta.
don't get it.
That was someone who was very lazy one day in the morning. They didn't want to reheat their pasta, and they're like, "Yeah, this is salad."
Yeah, it's a salad.
That's a salad now.
Somebody that really likes to eat meat a lot is like, yeah, this is a Wurst salad. Like, you just slap a salad on the name, and it's now healthy all of a sudden. But yeah, for me, that's an interesting culture shock, if I would say that like salad doesn't necessarily mean just vegetables.
Like
it can mean so many more things. So the next big culture shock we're going to talk about is housing and house hunting here in Germany. Now I don't know if this is specific to Berlin, but I think in every big German city this housing thing is a big problem.
I don't know, because my experience was very, very different, because it was during the lockdown. So I didn't really physically check anything. I just looked online. It was very difficult because every time I had a possible place to live in, like after, I'm talking about a matter of hours, it was gone already.
Oh, minutes. It's even happened in minutes.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, then I was lucky. Like in hours, it was like I just refreshed the page and it was like, oh, it's gone. It's already ready. Yeah, it's deactivated. I'm like, really?
Yeah. One of the things I find interesting as a culture shock when looking for a house or an apartment here in Germany is that you have to introduce yourself. You have to say, oh, I'm this, I work here, I have so many children, I do this. Like, you have to like sell yourself. I'm like, I'm looking for a bloody house to live in, which is a basic human necessity, and I'm gonna pay for it. It's not free. So why do I have to like make, for me it's just like a huge shock. Yeah, it's like a job. Like, I'm going to pay for the house. You're not gonna pay me to live in the house. So like, why is it such a big problem? Like, oh, I'm so amazing, please accept me to live in your house. You have to really write a nice introduction about your likes, your dislikes. You have to really make yourself very attractive to the landlord. And for me, it's a huge culture shock, because even in Jakarta or in my country, in Nigeria, if you have the money and you can prove that you can pay for it, you get the apartment. It's as simple as that. You don't have to write any cover letter or love letter to the landlord or something. So for me, that was a huge culture shock. And I think it's mainly to do with the demand and supply. There is a higher demand than supply for houses. So it's like you have to really...
in Jakarta, like a lot of the houses are empty. Apartments are super empty.
True.
And there's so many, and you don't have that many people coming in which are able to afford these kind of places. So yeah, they're more like giving you the keys, like please live here.
Please,
I will pay you to live here. So please. It didn't happen to me, but
I wish somebody would pay me to live there.
I wish that would have been the case. And here, I can relate with what you say, because even though we where I live now, like the landlord, I think he is my landlord. I don't know, like the housemaster. I don't know.
I think he's just the caretaker. He's not like the owner of the house, but he's managing the property.
Yeah, okay, him. And then there was another guy, maybe that was the landlord. My German was very poor at the time. so yeah, having a video call with them, and it was like, it felt like a job interview.
I know. I once went for a house visitation, and in the advert, the lady actually put that everybody that is coming to see the house must speak very good German. What? And like, there was a long queue for viewing this apartment, and she kept people there for like 4 hours. And then when it was like, the main problem was that she was interviewing everybody one by one just for a visit. This is not like just to come and see the apartment. Exactly. And she was asking like questions, like an open house, but with an interview included. And for me, it's just like, well, what is this? Yeah. We just want to live somewhere. Everybody has to have somewhere to live. You cannot live on the tree or something.
That's a common sense, I think.
I mean, like,
one would think.
I'm still in shock with this. I don't know when I'm going to overcome this shock, because I'm still in shock about it. So the next culture shock we're going to talk about, the German behavior towards nudity. So, coming from Indonesia, Indonesia is one of the most populous Islamic countries in the world, so it's conservative, of course, and also my country is conservative. Coming to Germany and seeing how people are so comfortable in their skin, nudity is not really such a thing here. Like, people go to the lake. I've gone to the lake countless times, and I've seen people swimming naked. And the first time, I was so shocked. I was like, I didn't know how to move. I didn't want to move my face to the left and the right. I didn't want the person to know that I saw him. It was a him. I didn't want the person to know that I saw him, but like, I think I was more embarrassed than the person. Then everybody was like, yeah. And then I saw more people like running around, going into the water like naked. It was very shocking, but now I'm so used to it. I'm not at the point where I go to the lake naked yet. Let's see how long it's going to take for me to get there. But I'm not.
Keep tuned. This is why you have to follow her, because you have to see a transition.
You never see it. Sorry. But like, I'm not so flustered by it anymore, and I love it that people are so comfortable in their skin. Like, it's body. Everybody has the same thing. So what are we so conscious about? You know, I love it. Maybe I will get to some point where I get to that level, but I'm at the point where I'm not shocked anymore right now.
The fact just going to Indonesia, and like I said, it's a very tropical country. It's very warm, actually, very humid in comparison to where I come from. And the thing was that for me, like, I love the sun. I love to feel warm, but I hate to feel sticky. So like in Indonesia, I thought like, well, it's all year long like this, so I would just wear tops like this and like, you know, like kind of V-necks or whatever. And unfortunately, I did have some experiences with, how do you say that, like where they took measures in their hands with like me showing a little bit of skin because they're Muslims and I was not respecting their religion.
Oh, really?
Maybe, yeah.
What area were this?
Actually, very close to where I used to live, so south.
In Kemang?
South Jakarta, in Kemang.
Oh,
so like between Kemang and the Ampera, not Ampera, sorry, Mampang. So in this area, interestingly enough, it's very crowded by expats. Like there's families and everything. So like it was this specific time where I was on a Gojek, which is a motor taxi, and I was wearing a top like this. And actually, I decided to wear it. So like the back was actually like this. No, sorry, the front was like this, like a little bit deeper, and the back was just like a straight line.
Ah, okay.
So, and then I decided to switch it, and I was like, okay, let's have the deep V-neck in the back where I don't have to show boobs or whatever, like to not act. Actually, I was considering their feeling more than myself, and still, I actually got how do you say that? Like people spat at me, like on my back. Yes.
Oh my god.
Very, very unsettling and very, very frightening. I think that's, if I ever felt fear in my life, it was then, because I was on a person's motorcycle in traffic with like nowhere to run, nowhere to go, because if you know traffic in Indonesia,
it's crazy.
It's super crowded. You cannot move around. So, and at the beginning I thought it was like, well, maybe it's going to start to rain or something, but then it was just like the same spot twice or three, I don't remember. And I even remember like touching it, and I was like, okay, this is not water at all. Like you can feel the gooiness or whatever.
Oh, gross.
And from there, I was like, wow, I've never had this in my entire life, like never. And it really brought me down. Like I came home and I was so shocked, and I remember taking it. Like the first thing I did was taking a shower, and I was just crying. I was like, how is it? Like I'm even thinking about them. It's just the back. It's not even like like you said, like I'm not exposing myself. Like I'm not showing my boobs. I'm not showing like nothing. You know, it's like what I am wearing right now. Like here, you would never see that.
No,
never
like
in your life. Like, exactly. They would say, hey, you're wearing too much clothes. It's like not really, but for me, it was a big shock.
Okay, guys, we've come to the end of our culture shock. Something that's not really culture shock. We just wanted to talk about it.
Yeah.
We've come to the end of We've come to the end of this video. Thank you very much for sticking with us to this point if you actually did. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and share with your friends. If you enjoy this content, leave a comment in the comment section telling me what you would like me to talk about next. And I will see you in my next video. Cheers!
Ciao!